Hi everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing great. In today's class, I'll be showing you how to make a 4-step A-line dress. This is a requested tutorial and the amount of fabric I use is 4 yards because it's for a large size person. So these are the essential measurements I'll be working with to achieve this dress. The first step is to achieve the first layer, which is the upper half cut. So I folded the fabric into two. For the front piece of the half cut, I'll start by marking out the shoulder line. Now I'll mark 1 inch below the shoulder line. So this 1 inch spacing I have here is the sewing allowance to which I'll be attaching the shoulder slope of the back piece. Next step is to mark the bust line. The bust line is gotten by dividing the armhole circumference by 2 inches. The armhole for this client is 18 inches divided by 2. I have 9 inches. The next step is to mark the upper half cut. The upper half cut is actually 10 inches, but because of the sewing allowance, I will add 1 inch to that, and that will become 11 inches altogether. For the neckline, I'll be using a neck width of 4 inches and a neck depth of 5 inches. The shoulder measurement for this client is 16 inches divided by 2. I have 8 inches. I'll place this on the shoulder line to mark 8 inches plus half an inch sewing allowance to the side. To achieve the slant shoulder, on the starting line where I marked the shoulder measurement, I'll go down by 1 inch, to which I'll connect it to the neck width as shown. The next step is to extend the shoulder measurement vertically downwards to the bust line. To get the armhole curve, I'll get the midpoint of this vertical line. The midpoint of this line is 4.5 inches. Next step is to curve out the armhole by connecting it to the midpoint of the vertical line. On the bust line, I'll place the bust circumference divided by 4. Plus 2 inches sewing allowance to the side. Now I'll trim out the front piece. The next step is to fold the fabric into two to place the front piece on it. So one important thing about cutting is learning how to manage the fabric. For instance, if I place the front piece on the fabric this way, it won't be enough to cut out the back piece. So what I did was to turn it the opposite way. So obviously you can see that this fold is actually enough to cut out the back piece. And since I can't see the chalked side of the front piece, what I did was to trace out the sides of the front piece. So the only difference between the front piece and the back piece now will be the neck depth. The neck depth I used for the back piece is 2 inches. So this is the front piece and the back piece of the half cut. On the front piece, where I have the midpoint of the armhole, I'm going to go in by 0.5 inches. Connect the point to the shoulder tip and the armhole. With this little fabric taken out of here, when it's worn, this will relax well on her chest. For the back piece of the half cut, you need to make a center back slit so she can conveniently wear the dress without stressing. So here I placed my tape on the starting of the neck depth to mark a neck slit of 6 inches. For the bottom of this half cut, that's for the front piece, you can decide to leave it straight in this form or add a little curve or triangle. But here I'll be having a little curve. I'll place my tape vertically on the bottom of the half cut to mark 1.5 inches, which will be connected to this edge. So curving the center front a little actually brought out the beauty of the half cut. The next step is to achieve the first and the second layer of this dress. We need to do some little calculations in order to make sure that each layers are equal. So the upper half cut of this dress is 10 inches. We have achieved that already. Since the full length of the dress is 46 inches, you need to subtract 10 inches from 46 inches, and that will be 36 inches. And I need 3 layers, so I'm going to divide 36 inches by 3, and that will be 12 inches, meaning I have to split 33 inches into 3. Now we know the length of the layers, but we don't know the width of the layers. To get the width of the layer, I placed my tape to check the measurement of the chest line. Here is 15 inches wide. Because of the little pleat, which was mostly done on the center of the half cut, I'll be adding extra 12 inches to that, and that'll be 27 inches altogether. The wideness of the fabric I need when folded into 4 is 27 inches. Now, since the half cut was folded into 4, I'm also going to fold this fabric into 4, so it gives me both the front piece and the back piece of the layers. So the wideness of this fold must be 27 inches since we have calculated it already on the half cut because of the pleats. Now I'll place my tape vertically to mark the second layer first. The length of the second layer is 12 inches, so I'll add 1 inch to that for the sewing allowance, and that will be 13 inches. And for the first layer, the length is also 12 inches plus 1 inch sewing allowance, and that will be 13 inches. Now I'll place the 13 inches on this second layer I marked initially to mark the first layer as shown. Please, I want you to understand that this calculation is not difficult. We are only doing these calculations to have a accurate result. Recall that I added 12 inches to that 15 inches that made it 27 inches wide. But now I want to split that 12 inches into 2. To achieve this, I'll place my tape starting from the fold to mark 6 inches. Next step is to place the half cut starting from the 6 inches I marked. Now from the bust line, I'll place my tape in the sloping position to connect to the bottom of the first layer. For the other 6 inches wideness left, I'm going to place it on the second layer as shown. Now I'll connect this point in a slant position to the bottom of the second layer. The next step is to trim out the first and the second layer. Now I'll notch each center of the fold. Right guys, so it's time for us to join these pieces together. The back piece of the half cut will be needing a slit facing. Here I'm going to fold the pieces of this fabric into two to place the back piece on it. The next step is to extend the neckline to about 2 inches wide. Also mark the length of the center back slit. After which I'll add extra 2 inches to the length of the neck slit. Now I'll connect these 2 points together. The next step is to make a buttonhole. So this fabric is 1.5 inches wide and 4 inches long. I'll fold the edges of this piece in and further fold it in to take it to my sewing machine to secure the edge. On the right side of the slits, I'll mark half an inch. Then I'll fold the buttonhole into two to place it on it. After that, I'll place the facing directly on it as shown. The next step is to take this back piece to the sewing machine to secure the center slit by half an inch. The next step is to place the front piece on the back piece to secure the shoulder slope by half an inch. The next step is to use a bias tape to secure the neckline. After making the dress, I'm going to attach just a single button to this side of the back piece. Yeah, I have two pieces for the first layer. I will spread out the half cut. To place one of the first layer on the front piece as shown. To make some little pleats, especially on the center part, making sure that the width of the layer occupies the width of the half cut. So I'll take this to the sewing machine to secure this layer by half an inch. Now I'll pleat the back piece of the first layer on the back piece of the half cut. To attach the second layer, I will notch the center of the first layer as shown. The next step is to place the center of the second layer on the center of the first layer to pleat. After I attached the second layer, I took the dress to the sewing machine to secure the sides by 1 inch. To know the wideness of the material you need for the last layer, you take the width measurement of the hem. The width measurement of the hem here is 51 inches. Since this is for both the front piece and the back piece, this simply means that the overall width for the hem is 102 inches. And the length of the third layer is also 12 inches, but I made use of 13 inches because of the sewing allowance. While the wideness of this fabric here is 102 multiplied by 2 because of the pleats, and that will be 204 inches wide. The next step is to pleat the third layer all through the hem of the dress. Obviously, these layers are all equal, and that is the reason why I said the calculations are very important when making dresses like this. Take the dress to the sewing machine to secure the hem of the third layer. Alright guys, we are almost done with this dress. The next step is to cut out the sleeve. We have two layers on this sleeve. The first layer is a straight sleeve, while the second layer was pleated on the straight sleeve. To achieve this, I'll be folding this fabric into four. Here I'll mark the starting line. The next line I'll be marking is the length of the sleeve. The length of the short sleeve is 7 inches. I'll add 1 inch to that for the sewing allowance, and that will be 8 inches. The next step is to mark the cap sleeve. Cap sleeve line, I'll place the armhole circumference divided by 2. Connect this point to the tip of the starting line. Now I'm going to get the midpoint of this slant line, which I'll connect to the top of the tip and also connect to the armhole. Length of the straight sleeve, I'll place the round sleeve measurement. Now I'll add 1.5 inches sewing allowance to the side. After this, the next step is to cut out. After achieving the straight sleeve, the next step is to get the second layer. On the round sleeve opening, I added extra 4 inches to the side to get the wideness of the second layer. Now on the length of the straight sleeve, I'm going to mark half an inch below that line. Now I'll place my tape on this new line starting from 7 inches, which is the actual straight sleeve length. And the full length of the sleeve is 13 inches plus 1 inch sewing allowance, and that'll be 14 inches altogether. The next step is to pleat the second layer on the first layer. The next step is to secure the hem of the sleeve. Now I'm going to take this to the sewing machine to secure the sides of the sleeve by 1 inch. Final step is to attach the sleeve to the dress. Alright guys, thanks for watching to the very end, and don't forget to attach the button to the back piece. kindly subscribe, share and like my videos, and also put on a notification bell to be notified when I upload new videos. Thank you.